What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to the Spicy Shield Talk. Devonte jetted out and Tom Brady arrived. Chris is about to sound off. Let's go, Raider Nation. What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to the Spicy Shield Talk. I'm Spicy Raider Girl here with my boy Chris from Protect the Shield. What a day and a half it's been. Obviously, we know Devonte jetted out over to the Jets. Tom Brady arrived to the facility for a standing ovation. A kind of uncomfortable looking one, just saying. It was a little awkward, but whatever. And we thought last week the hammy healer might have been AOC, but it's not. The hammy healer was Aaron Rodgers. What is good, everybody? If you haven't already, remember, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, and become a member to both channels here. Chris, I'm going to let you have the floor because I know you in your feels a little bit.
I am. And honestly, I want to start this show off by saying that anything that I say is just my thoughts. So don't hold Spicy accountable for anything that I may say today. I'm going to start it off just like this. I can't stand our damn fan base, Spice. I'm starting it off right there. I can't.
Coming in hot.
They piss me off, man. They are. I understand that we're in turmoil, but we are just so beaten, just as a fan base. Like, we don't understand. We can't look at things objectively. We can't look at things, from another perspective. We cry about something one day, then the next day, we're saying the complete opposite. I can go on and on, but I don't want to start this off too bad because I know we have some certain topics we got to talk about. But I'm fed up, man. I'm fed up, and sometimes I wonder why I even created the name of my podcast, Protect the Shield. I promise. That's where I'm at right now because
it's getting hard to protect the shield.
It's getting hard to protect the shield because the shield is so dysfunctional, and it's like it's not even the shield. Like I said, it's more like just a Raider Nation that it's not what I thought it was going to be, And again, we'll get into it later, but I'm just disgusted just being on social media and just looking at the comments that people are saying. It's just bad. But go ahead.
So in regards to what, though? Because we opened the show with two topics, right? One's the Devonte Adams trade, and the other is the Tom Brady now being minority owner in the Raiders. So what are you kind of more referring to there with these comments or these?
Well, more or less is just the way that Raider Nation wants to treat Devonte Adams.
Okay.
Without seeing his side of it. It's like almost like we want to blame we only want to blame the players. We don't want to have any accountability to the daggone organization. Because Spicy, I'm not sure if you knew this, but how long has Devonte been here? About what, like 2.5 years or so? Give or take.
Yeah.
But in the last 20 years, who is the second most losingest organization?
Right.
We've been terrible. We've been dysfunctional. Even when Al Davis was living, we've been dysfunctional. But we're supposed to get mad at Devonte because he doesn't want to be around dysfunction. We're supposed to get mad at Josh Jacobs because he doesn't want to be around dysfunction. High-performing individuals do not want to be, or for one, cannot really thrive in dysfunction and do not want to be around dysfunction. And that's not only on the field, but that is in real life. In the workplace, in no matter what, even in friendships, most people that are high performing at what they do not want to be around dysfunction at all.
I don't know if we had a drinking word, but I'm gonna throw up dysfunction.
Yeah, it's dysfunction. Our fan base is dysfunctional because now the thing is, we complain about the quarterback situation. We're so upset, but we can't understand why someone else is upset about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Now, and now Devonte tries to go out, does exactly what Josh Jacobs didn't do. He gives a farewell letter. And how does most Raider Nation talk about the farewell letter? Oh, they can't stand it. Oh, he's a fake. Oh, he's a fraud. Oh, we don't want that fake. Oh, your manager did it. Your PR person did it. But the thing is, Josh Jacobs said, hey, I am not going to waste my time with the fake goodbyes.
Yeah.
And they got mad about that as well.
Right.
You can't win with our fan base.
There's no pleasing. There's no
pleasing.
And by the way, even if that did come from his PR team, that's why you have a PR team. Like there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean he's not backing the words he doesn't mean that he's not backing the statement that, might have been prepared for him. That's how media works.
Exactly. And it's just ridiculous, man. Like, I don't blame Devonte for wanting to leave. I really don't, because at the end of the day, why do you want to die here? Because people always want to give me all these examples. Oh, well, Marshawn Lynch came back. Marshawn Lynch came back after he got a ring. Yeah. Did you see Marshawn Lynch knocking at the door during his prime years to play for the Raiders, to play in Oakland? No. Charles Woodson. I love Charles Woodson, my favorite player of all time. You guys do realize that Charles Woodson wanted to be re-signed by the Packers that last time, but the Packers wanted to make a business decision, so they didn't. That is when he went to the Raiders. Charles Woodson already has a ring. So at this point in your career, you don't mind going to the Raiders and just walking to the sunset.
Right.
This team, good players do not knock on the Raiders' door during their prime years. They don't. Like, you guys got to realize that we are not a good organization. Players in their prime do not want to play for us. And if they do want to play for us, we have to overpay them every year. We always overpay to get players. And that's why when they don't work out, we are in financial ruins for 5 years after. We're still paying guys that are no longer in the team because we have to overpay people to come here. It's just crazy to me, man. I just don't understand where most of our Raider fans get their football intellect from. I just don't get it. I understand Madden's a great game. I love John Madden, but I'm talking about Madden and fantasy football. You guys may be very swell at that, but please leave this football stuff to people who know it. You guys sound crazy. My bad, Spicy.
No, you're all good. Get it out. I mean, I'm actually, I echo a lot of what you said, and this is stuff I've been saying on my channel for years and been hated on for saying for years. And, now it's like I feel like some people are starting to kind of get on board with what I've been, the narration of this organization that I've had for so long. It was unpopular. It's becoming a little bit more popular, or, okay to say out loud. But yeah, I mean, you made great points. And I think the direct comparison to the way Josh Jacobs exited and the way Devonte Adams exited is the perfect comparison, because they did the exact opposites and neither one pleased.
Neither one
was pleased. And again, we sit here and, like you said, There's huge issues here, huge issues, right? Nobody wants to be on this just a dysfunctional team that they can't figure out how to get a proper team on the field year after year after year with constant turnover and inconsistency. We're all sick of it. We're all sick of it. So why can't like you say, how could we be mad at some of the players that are sick of it? Like honestly, we should be fine. These guys that want to win, we should find ways to keep them happy.
Exactly.
Like you have Devonte Adams and you don't have anyone to throw to him. What do you think's going to happen?
And don't even try. They don't even try to get somebody.
Right.
Now, granted, people know that I wanted it to work out with Jimmy G. I wanted it to work out with Gardner Minshew, but we all know they're not really starting level caliber players. But I wanted it to work because they're our starting quarterback, whatever. But everybody knows, like, you got to make a move. You got to have some kind of you got to at least look like you're trying. And I can only imagine how he felt in the background. Like, really, this is what we're doing? And just like Josh Jacobs, everyone's so mad at him. Josh Jacobs was like, hey, I will take less money, but you got to bring me some dogs. Like, use the money that you're saving on me and get me a quarterback. Yeah. Oh, the quarterback you get me is Jimmy G? Man, I'm out, man.
And I want to say this, and it's very poignant, and I want to make it very clear, and I want everyone to pay attention to this one word that I'm using intentionally. Players don't want to come to the Raiders to be misled. Devonte did not sign up for this. Other players did not sign up for this. They don't want to be misled and expect for them to stick around for a rebuilding situation. That's not what he signed up for. If you want to, they need to be transparent in acquiring these players, and expectations and commitment need to be met. And I know for a fact that there's other players inside the locker room who are also feeling misled by the organization. And I'm just going to kind of leave it vague like that. But that's the talk that's going on. And Devontae's not the only one, and we can see a snowball effect here. So I will also advise for this public service announcement, if you want to call it. Support Mad Max. Stop talking about trade rumors. Stop putting up memes of him leaving. Stop putting up bullshit of him in other jerseys. Support him. Show him love, because if he's not going to feel the love, he's going to feel the same type of way, and he's going to want out of here.
Oh, for sure. And my thing is, I love Max. Everybody knows I love Max. But honestly, if Max said that, he don't want to be around the dysfunction anymore, I would understand. And our fan base would turn their back on him like that. They've already turned their back on him for a quick minute. When Max said that, hey, if we don't hire AP, I might think of some other options. Oh, they turned their back on him so quick. Oh, get him out of here. Nobody's better than you know what? Max deserves to be able to speak his mind. Nobody in the NFL works harder than him.
Right.
We got some people in here that are demanding excellence, man. We're supposed to be committed to excellence. We got all these sayings that don't mean shit. We're not committed to excellence. We haven't been committed to excellence. And then going to the other topic, we bring Tom Brady in. Everybody's upset about Tom Brady being in the building. You know why you guys are upset? Because of a damn tuck rule where he was a player. You guys are still butthurt over a play where he was a player. Talk about he's not a true Raider. Who really is a true Raider? Loyalty is conditional. Guys come to the Raiders because of a transaction, because they're getting paid to come to the Raiders. Nobody's volunteering here.
Right.
You guys kill me. Oh, he's not a true Raider. So what do you want? Is there supposed to be like some eggs, and in the eggs there's hatched, and whatever it's hatched, that's a Raider. Like you're hatched as a Raider. Like, no, you're not. How do you just become a Raider? Like, who's really a Raider? Is Al Davis really a Raider? Al Davis didn't start off as a Raider. He came from somewhere else. So what are we really talking about?
And I echo everything you're saying. And we sit here and complain about, as a fan base, that the Raiders can't figure it out. Why wouldn't you want to have I wouldn't even say arguably. I'm just going to put it out there, because why wouldn't you have what the greatest player to ever do it
Yeah.
have that mind in the building and listen to what he has to say? This man, Tom Brady, if you dislike him or not, this one single man has more Super Bowls than any other franchise in the history of their team. That, you know how incredible that statement
More
is?
than double what we have.
Right. One man. And we
Yeah.
want to sit here and say, like, we don't want something great to come into the building and help us figure out this dysfunctional mess, because, like you said, Chris, of a tuck rule at the time when Brady, I used to hate Brady too. Like, it was almost kind of fun to hate him, and we never want him or anything. But let's get real
Right.
now. It's been
Let's
over
be
20
real.
years. He did not have any accolades at the time. He did not have any pull in the league, and the play came from the referees. So for us to sit and bitch and moan 22 years later, I think it's been, about not wanting to have excellence and greatness and in the building over some petty shit like that, blows my mind.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like we literally are a laughing stock. And honestly, like I've been holding it in because it's like, it's our team. We love them. But it's like at some point we really got to realize stuff. Like think about whenever we have new people that come to the organization. Like for instance, Christian Wilkins or whatever, or whoever. What's the first thing they say? Oh, the Raiders got so much history. Oh, I look back at Jack Tatum and like, why do we always have to show greatness from decades ago? They always
Right.
talk about the Raiders' history, the mystique. They never talk about, oh man, the Raiders they're a good team. They're always competing. No, they never say that. We got to go back to the 60s, the 70s, and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, to talk about our greatness. Like we are a joke, man. And until we realize it and hold the right people accountable, you can't blame the players, man. Like, think about you guys' job. Think about you guys' job, man. Imagine being at a job that just was very dysfunctional. Like, at some point, you got to hold the company accountable.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man. Like, I just don't understand how most of, and I'm not talking about you guys in the chat, but just, I'm just getting it off my chest. Just with this fan base, man, just acting holier than thou. Acting like they've never went to a job and put a 2-week notice in. Shout out to Scotty Waddy. I saw you put that on Facebook and I loved it. Like, yeah, you put a 2-week notice in, and then now, like, everyone that works there is just supposed to hate you now? Because, for what? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You guys gotta wake up, man. We're always gonna be a laughing stock until we, hold the right people accountable, man. And that's all there is to it. Because now, stars aren't going to come here. And I know someone in the chat was talking about people back in the day, like Randy Moss and all that stuff. I don't think Devontae's nothing like Randy Moss.
Yeah.
I think Devontae was a fan of the Raiders.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm gonna just hang on this word. You can't mislead players. You can't recruit, basically, sign, go trade for players with a business plan and not follow through with the business plan that you presented them. And with the dysfunction that's going on, and with the inconsistency that's going on, and with the constant turnover that's going on, the business plan constantly changes.
Oh yeah.
And this is someone who's at the later part of their career. He doesn't have time for the business plan to be rewritten every 6 months or whatever.
Imagine being, just kind of an older person in your, when Amazon first started and you were able to get into, you were going to get stock options and they were looking to go public and all this stuff. And you're like, you know what, I'm going to stick it out because, I see the plan that they're doing, I'm going to be able to get some good retirement out of this. And then like, as you start, not too long into it, they're like, you know what, we're not going to do that right now. We change our mind and we're going to push that down, 10 years from now. But you know what? Stay with us. You better stay loyal because, you're not a really Amazonian. I don't know if that's a word, but you guys get the hell what I'm talking about. It's like things change.
Yeah, we are on a little bit of a rant. We understand that the trade made sense and the Raiders have a ton of money and that this is a rebuilding year and all of that. I think what our point is just at the top of the show is, you sit here and point fingers and bitch about the wrong thing. The
Right.
problem starts from the top. We sit here and we want to sit here and call Devonte a crybaby when that's all everyone's doing is crying.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It just is crazy. But we can go to the next topic, man.
But really quick, I just want to circle back to the Mystique thing, right? I mean, that is so far gone that it doesn't even exist anymore. There's no Mystique. No, there's no Mystique of the Raiders way. There's no Mystique of the just win baby. There's no Mystique of, the feared fan base, or any of that. That is such a thing of the past, especially with the move. Like, I didn't even know you can even hang on that anymore. And then everyone's like, oh, well, they're going to move to Vegas and all the players are going to want to come here. It's going to draw players. It's going to draw coaches. It's going to draw everyone's going to want to be in Vegas, play for the Raiders. None of that's proven to be true. In fact, they can't even draw their own fan base into the stadium.
Yeah. I mean, it's just sad across the board. It's sad across the board. And even that, like even our own fans complain about other fans in our stadium. But it's like, have you been to a game? You know what I'm saying? Like people that live in Vegas or live in California, it's like they're always complaining. But I mean, if it's that important to you, then you go to the game. But then again, if they don't want to go to the game, I understand because the product on the field is not good. So, I mean, it's full circle. But my thing is we can't complain about it because other people will travel across the world or travel across the country to see them. It's just, I don't know. I'm just tired of all the complaining, all the bitching. It's just, it's crazy. It's like everything that I thought the Raiders were, I'm finding out that they're not. It's like I'm finding out that Santa Claus is not real.
And let's just educate some people too, because the trade, the Devonte trade to the Jets, there's contingencies. So obviously we all know he got traded for a third round pick. If he or the team succeeds, the Raiders get bumped up to a second round pick. So I don't understand now. This is such the Raider Nation, right? They just want to hate. They hate on him so much. They would rather have him fail and have our draft pick be lesser than to watch him fail. To me, that blows my mind. Or maybe they just don't know that that's the part. There's a contingency there, one or the other. But either way, I don't know. Neither of them are exceptional reasons to want this guy to fail. Hey, I hope he goes over there and balls out and we get bumped up to a second round draft pick. What does it matter to us?
That's
or
what I'm
what?
saying.
Or what? We're gonna look back on this years from now and go like, ha ha ha, see Devonte, you didn't win over there either, and that's like we're supposed to that's gonna make us feel better. You know what's gonna make me feel better? The fact that we get a better round draft pick.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That, and honestly, it's like, you listen to these fans talk about, man, I don't know why he wants to go back to with Aaron Rodgers anyway. It's not like they won anything, not like they have any Super Bowls. They always choke in the playoffs anyway. I'm like, bro, you're talking about playoffs? like
Oh, and by the way, do you know why he wants to go back to play with Aaron Rodgers? Because he wants a quarterback that he can trust, can throw him the ball, and that won't get him killed, and that will throw him the ball and make him a better player, and he will be able to fulfill his potential. That's why he wants to go play. Even though they're also 2-4, he doesn't want to play with guys that can't throw him the ball. They're going to get him killed.
Yeah. The thing
That's
is,
not what he signed up for.
Exactly. Yeah, they're 2-4, but their 2-4 is way different than our 2-4. Mark my word. I've been right about most of my takes, man. The Jets will go to the playoffs. The Jets will go to the playoffs. The Jets are 2-4 on Sunday. They're playing a team that's 4-2, and they're favored to win, and they're on the road. And it's a team that just beat the crap down our leg. Like, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, I can just go on. I know I'm just jumping everywhere. I'm looking at some of these comments, and there was one that I wanted to address. If you can get to it.
Who's it from? There's so many, and we appreciate all your comments, and we appreciate your opinions. We understand everyone's not going to have the same opinion as us, and that's fine. That's why we're here to read and listen to your comments. But
yeah.
All I know is if I sign a contract for a job You can go both ways, right? Fulfill your contract. We could sit here and say, well, he should at least fulfill his contract. You sign a contract, don't quit on your team, right? But then on the other end, you can also argue, well, the Raiders didn't fulfill their end of the contract by putting the product on the field that he signed up for. So,
yeah, no, that's 100% right. Let's see. So, Desert Raider, man, shout out to you, man. So he said the Raiders don't owe him shit other than a paycheck, and DA got paid handsomely. Absolutely, and that's what the fans have to start realizing. When we say it's a business, business goes both ways. It's a transaction. That's what you guys got to understand. It's a like there are literally people that was upset because the next day he was on that show, Mac, whatever his name is, and
it was kind of a little trolling. It was kind of a little trolling.
But the thing is, who cares? He's not a Raider no more. They're like, oh, why was he there smiling? Who cares? Doug, it was a transaction. We paid him, and he performed for us. No Diddy. But not only did he perform for us, while he was here, he literally had arguably the best receiving year that any Raider receiver has ever had. He had the most receiving yards in a season. Now, granted, he did have one extra game than like Tim Brown, but still, the record is the record. He had the second most touchdowns in the season for any Raider. So it's not like we didn't get anything in return for the transaction.
Right.
You know, so I'm just tired of it, man. It's just they act like he just came here and was like Jamarcus Russell and just did nothing. The dude gave us 2 solid years. Even his down year last year, I can't think of another receiver who had a better year than that in the last 20 years. Maybe I don't even know. I would have to sit back and think about his year last year. I think he had like 1,100 yards or so. Maybe Waller maybe had a better year. He's a tight end. Maybe Amari Cooper maybe had a better year. But besides that, in the last 20 years, who had a better year than Devontae's down year for us? We got to get it together, man.
Well, yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, we ranted, and it's all good. We can move on a little bit. Let's talk about how to fix this, right? Because this is definitely a long-term plan that the Raiders are getting themselves into, and therefore, I think it's a win-win for both Devonte and for the Raiders that this trade happened, because Devonte doesn't have time, doesn't care to stick around for this rebuild. I don't think, obviously, he doesn't have enough time to stick around for the rebuild, if we're being honest here. So if we're looking ahead, Mark Davis, went on record to say that he has faith in what Telesco's doing. So we just got to be patient. I know we've been patient for 2 decades, but we got to be patient. Hopefully there's no more overturn. Hopefully these new plans and these new visions will actually be, fulfilled, and they end up getting it together. But it's going to take years.
Oh yeah, and honestly, this is and shout out to a lot of people that wanted to start over a long time ago. I didn't want to, because I wanted. In my mind, I thought we were close, and I still think we were close, but I just think we made some bad decisions. But
we're not close now. We're not anywhere near close now. Literally, we don't have a quarterback. We don't really. I know you guys are going to argue about this too, but I'm just going to say it. We need a quarterback, we need a wide receiver, and we need a running back.
And we need everything except a tight end and a left guard. Everything. Seriously, we need everything besides
and we don't need a defensive end.
Yeah, and a defensive end, but who knows? I mean, the Raider Nation might turn on him any minute now, so who knows?
They're already turning on him. I'm seeing nonsense. I didn't want to read the nonsense about turning on him in the chats.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, but
Here's the thing too, and pay attention to what you're saying as a fan base, because these players hear it, they see it, and they feel it. And if you start speaking the nonsense about Max Crosby, it's kind of like if someone's going to keep accusing you of something, and you're like, "Well, I didn't do that." No, I know. I'll just use hypothetical. You're cheating on me. No, I'm not. You're cheating on me. No, I'm not. If you already got that in your head, well, hell, I might as well just go cheat on you then, because you already think it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this was Khalil Mack has said that part of the reason why he felt comfortable leaving. He didn't feel the love from the fans. He went to Chicago, he felt the love from the fans. So it does make a difference. So like I beg of you, fan base, stop it with the Mac stuff.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. It's just
Stop it with the Mac stuff. Stop it with the tanking stuff. Like,
yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, we just gonna have to just let the. I know we don't like hearing. We're just gonna have to let the process happen. That's really all we can do. There's no way of fast tracking this thing,
no.
unless you got, we can hit a home run, kind of like Houston did, or something like that. But we're so far away. We have to be realistic. And one thing I do like about Mark Davis is that, he seems like he's going to give these guys time. He's going to be patient with them. It sounds like he, understands what their vision is, because the last thing we can do is just continue to just get rid of coaches and start over. Yeah. Every coach has a different philosophy. They have a different scheme. Every time that you get rid of a coach with a certain scheme, you got to bring in all new guys and you just start over again, man. So let's just do it right this time. Gruden had the opportunity to do it right. He didn't. I mean, we were trending in the right direction, but Gruden made a lot of mistakes. We're still feeling it to this day. But as a fan base, at this point, we got to be patient, because, there's no.
Let's look ahead to let's go and the Raiders have to look forward to, right? Because at the end of the day, Tay didn't want to play for the Raiders for whatever his reason was, whether you agree with it or not. He gone. Good luck. Yeah. Do well so we get a higher draft pick. And then let's pay attention to what we have to work with because of that. The Raiders are going to go into the next season with the projected to have $108 million in cap space. They actually did a really good job in drafting this past draft. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they do a good job with the draft again, and they have some money to work with. So I think all we can do here now is really just focus on how to make this current team better.
Right. No, I mean, that's true. I mean, the thing is, we have a lot of money right now. We're going to be in good cap situation. I think when Gruden took over, I can't remember how the cap situation was then. I know Reggie McKenzie cleaned up a lot of stuff. So, but I from what I remember, I think that, they were in a good spot. They just had a lot of strikeouts. But I mean, if Tom can turn this money into some good players and get some good young talent in his draft, I mean, we have a shot. I mean, it's almost like a blank canvas. An artist can do what they got to do. I'm a trust in them. Like you said, we had a fairly good draft. We got 3 starters out of it. Hopefully we get some good depth later in the draft that we just don't know about yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That's all we can do. The chats are coming in hot. And we get what we're saying might not be a popular opinion, but you know what? I think it needs to be heard. It needs to be said, because we're saying it. It's just true. I know you guys want to sit there and, pretend like, the Raiders are something they're not, to be honest. So we just trying to keep it real.
We got to stop pretending. And when I say this, I'm talking about myself too. I think I finally came to the realization, and that's why I'm like just letting it out, because I have my mind on to it. Huh?
Welcome. I've been here for a while, so welcome.
Yeah, it has. I was fighting it, man. I was believing in Santa Claus all this time, man. So, and when I'm talking to everyone, I'm talking to the people that were like me. We just got to wake up, man. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, most definitely. And Chris, I'll pose this question to you, because I think you probably have some some thoughts about what do you think the Raiders need, really their next move in terms of where they should go from here? Like, what's first off when you're looking at how to make this team better?
Oh, we got to get, for one, we got to get a quarterback. We have to get a quarterback, for one, because we need a quarterback, of course, but we got to give our fan base something to grab onto, something to have some kind of hope for. I mean, at this point, we haven't drafted a quarterback. in the first round since you know who. We don't even want to say his name out here. You know, and that was a fail. You know, what the worst fail in all NFL history. So you know, a lot of us have PTSD about it, but we see a whole bunch of other teams. I mean, they strike out on the quarterback, and then the next year they'll try again. Sometimes you just got to keep going till you find your guy. And honestly, that's where we're at.
So there's been there was a lot of talk on our shows anyway. Scotty Waddy Raider 1, who's part of my channel, he was saying, sell the farm to make a quarterback move. And I think a lot of us were against that. Now maybe some of us are kind of like thinking maybe he had, he was onto something there. But what does that mean though? Like when you first of all, two-part question. Do you believe that the Raiders should quote unquote sell the farm to really go after what could potentially be it's a crapshoot, right? But the franchise quarterback, and what's off? Like, what's off the table?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm in sell mode. I'm in sell mode. People like people like Michael Mayer and Nate Hobbs and Colton Miller. I could package all of them up and get something. With the whole with Scotty, we ain't got a farm left. We don't have a farm. But so I know the reason you asked that question, Spicy, is like my thoughts on the whole Max Crosby thing. I love Max, man, and Max is needed, and I want to keep Max. So I'm gonna start off there. I want to keep Max, but if someone offered something just insane, like 4 first-round picks or something. Just like everybody says, it's a business. It's a business. But I would make sure I do right by Max. So make sure it's a team that Max wants to go to. Make sure it's setting up Max for success, where he can hopefully go play in the playoffs and go chase a Super Bowl. But again, I don't want to trade him because he literally is all we have to really hang on to right now. But we're not gonna be able to really do nothing with Max while he's in his prime. He probably, how old is Max? Like 27 or something. Like, he probably has 4 strong years left, but who knows how long this is going to be,
Oh, it's going to be several years for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
This year's a wash. Next year, it's going to be what are we even in now? 24, 25, 26. I mean, maybe 27, 8 to be realistic.
Yeah, and he's 27 right now. You know what I'm saying? And once they get on the other side of 30, and the way Max plays, I mean, he's just relentless. So, Father Time's undefeated. As much as we see him as Superman, but those injuries, it's going to start taking a little longer for him to get going. But like I said, I love Max. I love him. But if we did have to get rid of him or sell him, I want to do right by him because he's a dude I have the utmost respect for, and I would love to see him stay in the silver and black. But if he did, it would almost be like when Nnamdi Asomugha was with us. We had for the longest time, we had an all-pro corner, but we could do nothing with him. And then finally at the end of his career, like people always be like, oh, Nnamdi was a true Raider. Yeah, he was. But Nnamdi told Al, I got to get out of here. I'm not taking no more discounts. In fact, you got to pay me more. And he was like, and Nnamdi walked just like anyone else walks. Like, you can only be around dysfunction for so long, man. And I hope Max don't get to that point, but he might.
Yeah, for sure. These are good. These are all good options. I have to be honest with you. Thank you for asking this question specifically to me. I'll be honest with you. At this point, I don't know. I have to do a lot more research to really even put one of these guys on our team. These are all good options though, and we're gonna take a deep dive into how to make this team better and moving forward on these shows. Right now, I don't want to, honestly, it's like predicting this weekend's game. I just can't do it.
Yeah, it's still early. I know everyone kind of has their opinion, and me personally, I like Cam Ward, but it's still early in the season. I want to see what happens when they get to the playoffs and play big time games against other big time schools. That's what I want to see. So it's kind of early.
Yeah, for sure. Any I know there's a lot of comments in here. They're coming in hot, and we appreciate all of you. And we're gonna
Shout out
try to
to
try to
UEP, man.
get to them.
UEP said, Chris, you need something stronger to drink. I know, man. This beer's gone. So
I know. Why are you drinking that? What's wrong with you?
I know. I
I'm
was
just
like the
kidding.
first thing I had. I was trying to hurry up.
I kid. I kid. I kid.
But salute to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up and yeah, hit the thumbs up and for both and subscribe to both channels.
I'm
And
just gonna. I said I was gonna talk about Max nonsense, but this is kind of funny. Max, get it straight, or will he be a diva or grammar to us?
That's funny. That's funny. Do you got any mods in your room? In your get that Lucas London out of there. Oh, thanks, Myra. If you booted him.
Ah, there you go.
Like a bot or somebody.
All right, good looking out, girl. All right, so where do we go from here?
I mean, at the end of the day, we just have to, we just have to be patient. We have to be patient. So let me ask you this, and actually, let me ask the chat. So there's a lot of talk about just AP and his, his future. So in the chat, what do you guys think as far as AP goes? Do you guys feel that we need to keep him around? Do you feel like he's adding value? Do you feel like he's a right guy to lead us going forward? And I guess I could start with you, Spice. What's your thoughts?
Okay, so I do have thoughts. First of all, we ride with him. Yep. We ride with him. I'm just going to put that out there right away because this season, it's a rebuild. This is a rebuild. This is a straight rebuild. The Raiders probably should have a better record than they have. But this year, they were never going to be a playoff team. So we can't overreact and fire everybody when the team was just really never there. Let's just be real. We have to be real about this, okay? Yeah. Every team can't go into every season as a Super Bowl team. That's just impossible. And the Raiders just aren't one this year. So you have to ride with them. The constant overturn is ridiculous, in my opinion. Give this man a chance. He's done some stuff mostly in the press and the media that I've disagreed with, and it makes me shake my head and cringeworthy and all that. But firing him is not the answer. And then if you do think that's the answer, I don't really know what to say. But I mean, at this point, almost this point last season, McDaniels was at 3-5. AP's at 2-4. Are we going to see these people running around town with signs to fire AP? Like, that's just ridiculous to me. It's nonsense. Take your sign that you framed off the wall and throw it in the fire and let this man do his job and give him some time to do it. That's my response. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Like at the end of the day, I was riding hard for AP, and I still believe in him. Now, has he made mistakes? Absolutely, he has. And again, I'm all about accountability, man. So, and the thing is, I think he's about accountability as well. So, I believe that he understands he's made some mistakes. Now, he's made some mistakes continuously. I want to see him fix that. One thing I did like about him, he brought advisors. But I need those advisors to advise. I mean, right now, I don't know if they're advising because he's, there's a lot of stuff that's not happening. But I want to give him a shot. Let's give him an opportunity with the quarterback that he wants. Let's give him an opportunity with, some of the pieces that he wants. That's all there is to it. We know he wanted Jaden. He probably wasn't able to get Jaden Daniels. But if he got what he wanted, that would have been the right pick. That would have been the right call. So, we'll see, man. I'm not giving up on him. But I'm not giving him a full pass either. I'm going to hold him accountable. Sure. I expect him to continue to do better, but yeah.
He needs to do better. He needs to improve. This is his rookie. This is his rookie season. Just like any rookie that comes into the league, the only way to get better at football is to play football, to coach football. He's, you got to give him time. I mean, really, again, he's done some stuff that we don't agree with, but
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's like, you got to give the guy some time to grow, some grace, and things of
Exactly.
that nature. And before this cat, this is for you. Before blah blah blah. Before this super chat gets too far ahead, thanks for the super chat. I just want to put it up here. Chris, you want to go ahead and take this?
Yeah, so they said AP has face planted so many times this year. He's starting to look more and more like what's it, Voldemort every week. I want him to succeed, but looks unlikely. Honestly, I don't think nobody's going to succeed right now. I mean, no matter who it was. So at the end of the day, yeah, he's face planted. I want to see how he responds to it.
But how do you? I mean, what do you expect? First of all, let's start. They don't have a quarterback.
Right.
We all agree that the play calling is bad with the offensive coordinator. Like we all agree that well, I don't know, we say all agree, but they don't have a running back. It's like how are you going to be a great coach with when the pieces that you have are subpar and mediocre?
Right. No,
I
agree.
only do so much.
Oh yeah. And I think that again, we don't know who wants what and like who made certain decisions, but from my understanding, AP's first person he wanted was Cliff Kingsbury, to run the offense. So, and then like if I look at, just kind of what, because Kingsbury is running the Redskins or the Commanders right now. So if I just take a look at, what their offense is doing right now, and I know it's not apples to apples because they do have, Jaden Daniels, but just kind of looking at what they do, they're second in the NFL in points per game. That is who AP wanted.
Right. Like, well, that's just it. And that goes to this comment. Desert Raider, we appreciate your opinion. Thank you for being here. AP hired Getsy Slim Pickens and wanted AOC to win the job. Where's the accountability? He wanted AOC to win the job over Minshew. Like, those are two backup quarterbacks he's choosing from. Like, what do you want the man to do? So if he wanted AOC over Minshew, or even vice versa, I mean, like, that's what they gave him. That's what they gave him to choose from.
Right. Because we know it's well documented. They had an offer on the table for Cliff, and he signed it originally, or he agreed to it. I don't. And then he backed out. But the thing is, and honestly, I didn't even think the Cliff was even a good signing. I wasn't too sold on him at the time. I thought we dodged the bullet when he backed out, but I was wrong apparently. So let's look at it that way. Like that's one of the first big decisions that AP made. He went and wanted to go get a OC that is proven that could be successful in the NFL. They got the number 2 offense. But we had to get Getsy. And honestly, how did Getsy even get here? Me personally, I think it was to make Devonte happy. I think he was way down on the list about who, I don't think too many people wanted Getsy.
See, and we've heard that too. And this is why we can keep going back to this. This is why the overturn needs to stop. Because now Devontae's gone. So if that's true, but now Devontae's gone and we have this guy.
Right.
But then Devonte came for another reason, but then that guy's gone.
Right.
So that's the problem with constant overturn.
Yep. So my thing is I'm not saying everything's Getsy's fault, but we need a guy that can develop a young quarterback that can run an offense, that can create an offense on the go, on the fly, make adjustments. I want to see who AP is going to pick. I don't think that Getsy's going to be the guy. Let's get somebody that's out there, that's innovative. And
are they moving him, by the way? Did I read something about them moving him, Getsy?
What, to the booth? I'm not sure. I know there was rumors, but I'm not sure if they're doing that for sure or not.
And here's the other thing. I think I don't think Getsy's the answer, and I think he probably will. Somebody will come fill the void for him. But geez, he's made some really bad play calls, I think, especially on third down. However, not all of the play calls have been bad, but if you have a quarterback that can't throw the ball to the player, then that's not on the OC. Like Aiden was throwing the ball in the dirt. He was overthrowing the ball. Brock Bowers having to make, one-handed behind him catches. Like,
Yeah.
Are some bad play calls happening? For sure. But
Yeah.
also when the good play calls are happening, the players aren't able to execute them.
That is, I couldn't have said it better. That's so, I mean, that's perfectly said, because, you know, a lot of you guys that can't stand Gardner Minshew, what did you guys keep telling me? He was missing wide open players. He was missing wide open receivers. You know what that means? That means Getsy created a good play where somebody's wide open, but the quarterback can't get him the ball. That's not on Getsy. He's missing wide open guys. There's been, what else were we talking about? Devonte Adams dropping wide open catches. That's not on Getsy. That interception that Gardner had, that pick six from 2 weeks ago, a good play call. He was wide open. Bad throw. It's bad execution, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's. I just think. I mean, we actually this time went on fast because we've been ranting. But just to circle back, I guess we to where our rant was, like the constant firing of everyone is not the solution. There are so many issues here, and it all needs to come together. Like, I
Right.
wish we would just stop with the firing everybody constantly. That might very well be the number one issue, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And honestly, I mean, you know, we have people like Brady now and Seymour and stuff like that. They're not used to stuff like that.
And
So
by
they're
the way, and by the way, so what? Everyone gets he fired. Say they fire him, who's going to replace him? And if they do replace him, and they have a better play caller, who's going to throw the ball? And now, who are they going to throw the ball to?
it don't matter. Apparently, it's supposed to
I
be.
feel like we get stuck on this narrative, like OC sucks. He sucks. Fire him. Then you put up then what? Okay, fire him.
Yeah.
Who's going to replace him?
Then
Who's
what?
going to throw the ball, and who's going to catch the ball?
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like they got to go a little bit deeper when they analyze this stuff. Like, you can't just look at it from surface level and just want to fire. I mean,
But can't we get someone maybe to call the plays on third down?
yeah. Call you. Hey, call Mother Moon. Mother Moon calls.
Yeah. Maybe we don't throw behind the line of scrimmage every time when we're 3rd and 19. Just saying, like, maybe we throw it forward when we need excess yards.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, for sure. I mean, for sure. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just a lot to take in, man, because it seems like, you know, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, if there even is a tunnel. So it's just like, it's just a bad feeling at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I'm with like this I'm with this comment too. Yeah, figure it out at the end of the season. I think what's good, Cool Kev.
Okay.
By the way, if you're watching, I know some of we kind of have like dual fans here, but Cool Kev and some of these other guys, if you're watching on my channel, pop over to Chris's channel, Protect the Shield. Just, you know, tune in for the next 7 minutes over there. Light that torch, hit that like button over there. And if you're watching over on Chris's channel, pop over to my channel, For Life or Raiders Story, for the last 7 minutes, and light our torch, hit the like button over here. We appreciate all your viewership. But yeah, this is kind of it, right? No. Fire Getsy at the end of the season. If you're gonna fire him, restructure at the end of the season. I don't really, at this point, the call for this right now is to me seems unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, doing it right now, like it doesn't. So especially because we know it's not, you know, we're not going to do nothing this season. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, at the end of the day, let's ride it out. Let's use the rest of this season just to evaluate our players. Yeah. Let's see who's worth even keeping at this point. You know, I was a person that wanted Gardner in there. No point in putting Gardner back in there. Let's put in AOC. If AOC looks so bad to the point it's not even worth watching, then put the young kid Carter Bradley in. You know, or just whatever. Let's evaluate everybody. Evaluate everyone, man. I mean, do it.
Actually, I think that's interesting because I think long term, of course, the Raiders need a quarterback, but long term, I think you keep AOC as a backup, and Gardner Minshew, he's a temporary guy. that guy can go, to be honest. Sorry.
Yeah, see, me personally, I don't even think it's worth keeping AOC just because.
Not even as a backup?
Well, because whoever your starter is, you want your backup to have a similar skill set.
Okay, fair enough.
Unless you have Tom Brady or someone that's just super slow with 2 left feet, like it's going to be hard. Like, because when you install an offense, 9 times out of 10, any of these quarterbacks that we get are going to be able to be more athletic. They're going to be able to do more in and out of the pocket. And then say he does get hurt, you bring in AOC, you can't run half of the offense that you designed because he's completely different. So I'm okay with being done with him, honestly.
All right, fair enough. I mean, again, I think they're all. I think either are disposable, to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, our left guard and tight end and defensive end, everybody else can go. Everybody else.
There you have it. All right. Well, I'll do my little plug here before we get out of here. If you are interested, we got a little raffle going on our Spicy Raider Girl page on Facebook, For Life on Raider Story on Insta. Hit me up if you're interested. We're still raffling off this commemorative bottle here, courtesy of Barrels and Vine. You'll get this bottle with the little logo here, along with 2 cans of Modelo with the logo as well. And then, of course, we're gonna give out some swag, and you'll get the shirt as well. It's only $5 to enter. If you want to enter to try to win some of this Woodson whiskey swag, like I said, courtesy of Barrels and Vine, that's out in Henderson. As for Mike, when you go in there, they have all the bottles, all the Woodson whiskey bottles for you to purchase. Which one do they have? Let's see. They got the Heisman Hatton. They've got this commemorative bottle, 2 commemorative bottles, and then the original one. This one here is aged 2 years, so it's a little bit more of a bourbon, which is kind of like my flavor, my vibe.
Nice. Good deal. Well, I appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure you guys check us out every Wednesday, same time, same place. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell. I know, Spicy, you want to tell them about your other show?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you. Catch us on Monday nights as well. Monday Night Madness, 6:00 with myself and my co-host Scotty Waddy, Raider One. And that show is for you. All of you are the stars of that show. Join the madness. We always put the backstage link past. So if you want to join us on camera, just like you see Chris and I right now, you can join us on camera. And then call-ins are always welcome as well. And we've got some Raiderettes coming through the pipeline in the next couple weeks. So Tuesday nights, that will be at 6:00 for Life Our Raiderettes Roundtable with my co-host Mother Moon. We're gonna have some Raiderettes on the show for you as well. Hey, the way the season's going, maybe the only thing we can enjoy is some football's fabulous females.
Shout out to Chocolate.
Hey, Chocolate, your favorite. Yeah, Shantae, that's my girl. If you haven't already, go back and check out our playlist. There's a playlist called For Life Our Raiderettes Roundtable where we already have interviewed several Raiderettes, and Chris just shouted out him's favorite.
It's my favorite. And then for me, I got this show with my sis, and then I got my show tomorrow. She'll Talk Thursday. And then I got my show with my brothers, my TRS brothers on Saturday. Been doing a post-game show with my boy Severe and 805, on Sundays after the game. So, just been working, man. But, I've been doing a lot of soul searching these last couple of days. So thank you guys for bearing with me today. I had to get that out. Again, I'm not talking to you guys specifically. It's just as a fan base, we just got to get better. So,
moving forward, we'll get back to more of the structure of what this show is with our fun games and our lightheartedness. But there's a lot that went on this week, in the past couple of days, I should say. So thanks for bearing with us for our spicy Shield rant.
Yes, and Free Thinker, she's a 20, man. She's a 20, not a 10. She's a 20.
What is that? What am I missing?
Oh, Free Thinker's comment.
Oh, I didn't see it. All right.
It says, Spicy Raider Girl, you're a 10.
Oh, me? Oh, thank you.
You're a Spicy Raider Girl.
I didn't. No, I didn't see. I didn't see any comment. I didn't know what you're referring to.
Oh man, shout out to everybody. The Spicy, you want to get us on out of here?
You know that's right. You know, Raider Nation, we go out one way and only one way. Raider! No, no, no. I'm not acting blind. I really didn't see it. But much love to all of you. We appreciate y'all. See you next Wednesday.